Mshauri careers, hanging with them now.
This is an episode about what you should do, what you should not do in order to kill it during your probation.
What do we mean by the probation period? And some organizations have it at 3 months, some organizations have it at 6 months, and this is just sort of a test run, I think. They are trying to see whether you can do the role, whether you can excel the role. So they give you this time to execute the specific tasks required, and then thereafter they can sort of give you a more permanent position. And we have sort of informal and formal types of probation, which are stipulated, like the 3 months to 6 months. But
in your contract explicitly that you will be confirmed and given benefits that are typical of a permanent position once 3 months lapse, and once a performance appraisal is done and you've passed. Informal is if you're working for a business, it's not written anywhere, but it's just come up in conversation that we're going to give it 2-3 months and then see if you're a good fit. So that's now informal.
Let's talk about the social aspect, because this is something that I've seen quite often, especially unfortunately with interns. There is the also favorite Christmas party. And usually at Christmas party, there's usually some adult beverages that are there. There's usually some music.
Yeah, it's great. It's fun.
Anyone is saying not to have fun, but also know how to act. Also know how to dance appropriately. Also know that you're actually being watched. And also how you interact with different individuals is very important. If you overindulge, this is something that will paint a negative picture on you, as people could label you as having some sort of substance abuse issue, which might not necessarily be the case.
You might not get confirmed.
So just be very wary about how you interact at these social events.
Be observant about what people are doing as well. So don't drink too much. Look at social dynamics. Even in the dancing, dance. Lily likes to say, do the two-step.
Just do the two-step. Just do the two-step. There's no need to get some other wild, aggressive ideas. And also, at the end of the day, if you're going home, don't feel comfortable to ask a random person just because you live on the same route.
Yeah,
can they drop you home?
No.
You should have figured it out how you are going home that day. Exactly. Don't be also stranded there like, oh, now how do I get home?
And people are scrambling trying to figure out how to get you home. Figure out your way home.
Exactly. All right.
So social. Even at back to the office, lunches, break rooms, behave. You said something about behaving like a stranger to people. Don't be overly familiar.
Exactly.
Until you've understood them and you've broken ice with enough people to now start revealing yourself.
Another common mistake I see is social media. There's nothing wrong with connecting with individuals on LinkedIn because that's a professional site. But I see people so quick to run to Facebook, to Instagram, and start following
your boss, your
TikTok,
everybody.
And now
you're sharing links to your own posts.
Exactly. I would just be a little bit
keep your
cautious.
privacy.
Yeah, because sometimes you wake up on Facebook and you're tagged in a photo that might sing something negatively towards you, and it's not in your control. So I would
familiar. Your probation, you want your brand to be your work, not any other thing on the side. So there's that wedding photo, as you said, or that drunken photo, or you've shown people a tour of your house and you have these nice things. And people start thinking, oh, how can she afford this with her salary? Or how did she go to France?
Yeah.
You don't need that right now.
And if you don't have a different work phone and use your personal phone and you communicate a lot on WhatsApp, also check your WhatsApp photo. You know, if you're sending messages to your boss on WhatsApp and you have some photos that might not paint a good picture about you, and I would
keep it nice and simple,
professional, or even blank. If you don't know what to do, just have the silhouette. because that doesn't do any sort of damage to your
That too.
reputation if you have no idea.
And your WhatsApp status.
Ooh.
Be very careful about what you put there.
Yeah.
Make it tasteful, simple. Don't go too personal.
Yeah.
You're at the club and sing, and have a house party. Don't post such stories.
If
Don't
you have
post
a
anything
controversial view on something that
Yeah.
knows is usually a hot topic, just
some really funny,
yeah,
pornographic, almost
Yeah.
sexual type things.
yeah,
Memes
religion,
and quotes.
hot topics,
Yes.
things on sexual orientation. I would just
Keep that on the down low for now,
yeah.
until you pass that probation period, because you want people to perceive you and judge you around the workplace based on the work you're doing, and not about all these other things that really don't fully define you. So another thing that you need to do when you're on probation is insist on your job description,
Mm-hmm.
your KPIs,
Mm-hmm.
and especially ask what excellence looks like and how it's rewarded. Make sure that is in black and white, recorded, confirmed on email by HR, by your line manager. Insist on it. Don't be shy and assuming of these things. And out of that, document
Mm-hmm.
everything that you do in relation to this, so that at the time when your confirmation discussion is coming up, you're presenting the expectation and your actual performance to the people making this decision.
And that's absolutely key, because you'll be asked, so what have you been doing for the last 6 months?
Oh, you say, I didn't know I
Yeah.
was supposed to do these things. Who did you ask?
Who did you ask? Who did you ask? You should know.
Dress code is another.
Ooh.
Do
Ooh.
follow the corporate dress code to
Yeah.
the T at this point.
Yeah.
Inject some level of personality into your style, but only through observing what other people are doing,
Yeah.
which builds up to another point of being very observant about what people do, how they dress, how their reports look like, how they present, and act only based on what you're seeing, and don't be too hasty on doing such things. Another thing
If you're coming in as a team leader, for example,
yes,
you
there's specific
need
things now you need
to
focus
know your team, you need to have conversation. Don't come in with a bullish attitude.
I know everything.
I know everything. And also a key thing that sometimes people miss is how to motivate your team. Because I always say motivation is like love languages. People have a different love languages. People are drawn and driven by different things.
Acts of service, not touch,
Quality
though.
time. But you have
Not that
certain
one.
individuals
No.
who, for
Yeah.
example, financials is a big thing.
That is, to recognize them and motivate them.
Yeah,
They
there are
like
some
that.
people who like to be praised and taken on stage and given a plaque or but for some people that's very uncomfortable for them. So I think it's very important also if you are to get team acceptance within the probationary period, because that could actually impact you being confirmed. Because you can be actually brought into a very high performing team, and somebody in the team could go to your immediate boss and say, this guy is not working out, and because this team is critical for the functionality of the organization, it could actually end up you not being confirmed because you failed to notice the dynamics.
And how do you do this? Invest in one-on-one meetings with your team. So how you do this as a new team leader in probation is to invest in one-on-one time with your team. So put some money aside to take them out for lunch. If it's not already worked in the company budget, invest in lunches with them on one-on-one so that you can get to know them at a personal level, their families, their education, their aspirations. There's so many team leaders who adopt a new team and fail to do this, and they just assume and go by hearsay. They rely on other people's sources of information about these individuals. So don't make that mistake. One thing we recommend that you do is read a book called The First 90 Days. It's particularly for leaders, very good to raise your awareness on just what to do when you're on probation, how to understand the strategy of the organization, if you're a startup or a team you're supposed to turn around and things like that. Very important. And also one thing that I would add is be very clear with the team once you've gotten to know them about your own work style. Let them know your likes and dislikes. Show them examples of reports that in the past you found really well written. Make this very clear for them. Don't let them sit there assuming what you want, expecting them to read your mind.
In a nutshell, you need to look at the social aspect of things. Then you need to look at the actual functional aspects when it comes to the job and executing the specific nitty-gritties. And lastly, you need to look at the people dynamics, how you're leading, how people are perceiving you, how to give feedback, criticism, so on and so forth. And I think if you focus on those three things and get that right, you'll definitely be confirmed. So for more career advisory tips, make sure to jump in and watch all our other videos. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Mm.